We're going live. We're apparently live. Hooray for that. Apparently. Let's see. We're going live. Apparently it's working. Hooray. I'm online for the first time in how long? Hi, everybody. It's been a long time since I've made a video on YouTube. How long has it been? Beginning of 2019, I think it was. January last year. I think it was the last time I made a video posted online. So now with everyone, stuck at home and, unless you're an essential employee like me, there's not much really to do. So, I wonder if I can live stream some stuff. I haven't been on live streaming. I just reset my computer, all the, nonsense. And I lost all my programs and everything that was installed. So I'm like, oh, I need to download OBS and all that kind of stuff and see if it works. And I think it's working now, apparently. That's what I'm looking at anyway. So hooray for that. Yeah. I realized that the last time since I last live streamed was, I think I only had 1,500 subscribers, maybe. So I think I have 30 something at this point. I don't even remember. Let's find out. Da, 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 da. And if anyone's watching, feel free to chat. Join me, ask me questions, all that good stuff. I want to see how many subscribers I have because I have no idea. Almost 3,400, 3,898 right now. 30 subscribers in the last 28 days. That's pretty cool. Considering I haven't made any videos. My subscribers have still gone up. I've still had a bit of monetization. I get comments every so often. And yet, here I am. Haven't made a video in how long? So, it's pretty cool. I need to make videos again, but it's been life. And life's always fun, isn't it? So, I should probably put this on Twitter. Because I think I have some people who like me on Twitter. What's the share button? Share. That's the one. I'm live streaming. Come say hi. Hashtag live stream. Hashtag 3D printing. That'll bring in some viewers. Could always throw it on the Folger Tech Facebook group too. But I haven't been on there in a while. I haven't posted anything on there in a while. I haven't 3D printed anything in a long time. Been doing it at work. And once you're doing something at work, you don't want to do it at home anymore. So it's part of the reason why I haven't done a lot of things on YouTube wise, but I'll see how that goes. I want to get back into it. I want to get back into making videos, and I enjoy the process. I make videos at work quite a bit, and that's always really fun. Of course, I can't post the videos online, which sucks because there's a lot of really good videos. There's a lot of really cinematic, fun videos that I have on that I've done for work, but I can't show them because it's confidential information and all that good stuff. I got one that I kind of could show because it doesn't really show anything that I could get in trouble for, but I don't want to get in trouble. Maybe if I ever get fired, then I will. I have control over the YouTube channel. Let's post everything. Everyone knows everything now. Ha ha ha. It's the longest I've gone without any comments or any viewers. Apparently there's one viewer. If you're that one viewer, thanks. Appreciate it. Unless it's me. I don't know how that works. Everything's different. The YouTube dashboard is different. The live streaming dashboard is different. Everything's different. And I'm trying to throw all this together in 5 minutes to make it work. And I'm I don't know what to do. So. There's probably probably a lot of people subscriber-wise on here who have never watched any of my live streams before, because it's been since 2017, I think it was my last live stream. So they weren't here when that was happening last. So they don't understand how awesome it is and how weird it can be. So you know how that goes. I got 2 viewers. Hooray for 2 people. If you care to ask a question, write it in the chat. Say hi. All the good stuff. We're all quarantined. We all can't go anywhere, so we might as well have a good old time. Have a conversation. Talk about stuff. Talk about 3D printing. Talk about life. Ask me all the nonsense. I forgot that the last live stream I did was absolutely ridiculous. It was like an hour and some odd minutes, and it devolved into nonsense. Those were good times. Actually, I was thinking about it. Oh, I forgot. You can't see the mouse. This little chat viewy window thing, I wanted to see if I can make it see-through. I don't know if I can do that. I don't know how to do that. But I want to make it that way. Unless there's a filter. There's filters apparently. There's color keying and stuff. Image mask, blend. Could that be a thing? Let's find out. Opacity. Whee. No? Alpha channel? No? Doesn't work like that. Boom. Unless I do this. Black. Sure. Color channel. Blend. Modify. Nothing. It's weird. I don't know how this works. I'm learning with everyone else. Color correction, maybe? Opacity. Hey! That looks good. I wanted you to be able to read it, but also see the guitars in the background, because, you know, why not? There's like 3 or 4 good guitars that are behind that, so. Plus one that's off screen that you can't see. Oh, I think that looks pretty good. It's like how I used to have it. I wonder if I have the Thursday night chat thing up still. Let's see. Because I don't have what's it called? It's OBS setup anymore. So it's not, all that stuff that I had preset is not there anymore. Let's see. And you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on Facebook, turn the volume down just in case people are ridiculous, and post this onto the Folger Tech Facebook group. Boom. Hey everyone. Triumphant. Return to YouTube. That'll work. Boom. It's going online. I haven't been on the group in a while. I haven't been on Facebook very much. That's the main problem. It's been forever. Also, I don't know where this thing went. Cool. It's been good times. Good times. Actually, I haven't actually clicked the link to see if this even works. Oh yeah, it works. Cool. That's a good thing. Two viewers. Whoa! Say something in the chat. Say hi. How you doing? Good afternoon. Good evening. Wherever you're from. Good morning, even. I guess there's parts of the world that are in the middle of the night. Good morning. I don't care. Say hi. Whoa. Ask me all the nonsense. This whole thing, the analytics are so much better on here than they used to be. Like, it's very odd. You get so much more information now than you used to. Like, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I like it. I should have made a thumbnail. I do have a thumbnail. Heh. I didn't realize I had one. That would work. I realized that I have a lot more guitars than I did last time I was on here. Yeah. What would it be? Oh, probably 15. 15 guitars, maybe? More than I have had last time I've live streamed. Good times. Good times. It's those days. Not having stupid amounts of instruments. Go away. Wanted to make this thing go away. Oh well. I forgot NASCAR was on. NASCAR iRacing. Boo! I was gonna watch that. Forgot it's on today. It's on Saturday and Sunday too. Can't wait. At least I get to watch some sports. That's the best thing. Hooray! I'm so tired. This is really weird. I wonder if the algorithm got me. I wonder if the algorithm got me. And it's like not putting the video like out on there. Yeah, no one is here. What's up, man? Long time no see. There's like no one here. It's weird. I've been on streaming for 15 minutes and there's like no one. Like, I'm not used to that. Even when I was doing stuff like way back, there was always, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people watching at any point. I mean, there was a couple times when it was like nearly 100 people watching a stream at one point, but not usually. I've not really been hiding. I've just been not doing the same thing. I've been working a lot, being an actual adult, for good and for bad. But it's been pretty fun. I've been enjoying life. I've been wanting to make videos again and wanting to do things like this, but it's just kind of not been in the right space mentally and literally and all that kind of good stuff. So it's been interesting, but I'm enjoying it. I'm having a good time. Being an adult, having a full-time job, all that good stuff. It's weird. Last time I made any videos, I was, well, technically no, but last time I did a live stream, I wasn't working full-time. I was still part-time in college and everything. So I had a lot more free time to do things and, make videos and all that. And now, since I started working, 2 years ago? Just under 2 years ago, I've made like 3 videos just because I don't have the time during the week, and then the weekends I want to do other things and hang out with people and all that. So it's just kind of hurts my heart a little bit, but I think as I get into the more of the right place and all that, I'll want to make more again, because I've had a lot of ideas. I was going to make a video for April Fools. I've been wanting to make the same video for April Fools every year of the past 4 years, and I haven't made it. I have the script and everything. I just haven't shot the video because it'll require some little bit of complex editing and special effects and stuff to do, and I just don't have a lot of good time to do it. So if you still have a job, be glad. Lost mine last week. Oh, I'm sorry, man. That's no fun. Yeah, I do still have a job right now, which is good. My company is considered essential, and I'm considered an essential employee, which is weird because I don't necessarily, not that I don't agree, but it's kind of weird. But either way, I still have a job, which is good because there's quite a few people who are now former coworkers of mine who are not as lucky. So I made it through that, which is a good thing. And yeah, I am working reduced schedule, but it's something. It's not my full pay, but it is something, and it's more than some people are getting. And so I'm happy about that. I'm fortunate more than I believe. As much as I don't want to be out too much to, not get sick and not spread things, at the same time, also having an income for through all this, when there's people who don't know when they're going to go back to work, is kind of beneficial. So sorry to hear that, but I'm sure you'll be able to get back, especially when all this stuff calms down. I think everyone who lost their job will kind of be able to get back into what they were doing one way or the other. More time to work on my custom big printer. Yeah, still free time is the best thing in the world. I don't know what I'm going to do. I start my first 4-day week this week, so I have Friday off. So having an extra day off is going to be the greatest thing. I'm going to be able to go home or be home and do things, try to do things at least. That's the thing, is a lot of stuff that I want to do, I can't really go hang out with people. You're not supposed to. I kind of can have a few exceptions, but I don't really want to do that. Don't want to cause the problem. And then I would love to go to Lowe's and get some stuff for the house, work on the house and all that, but that involves going to Lowe's, and they're still open, yes, but they're also, why are they still open? That's something I used to work at Lowe's, and so I'm looking at it how much stuff here is really essential? I get it, but it's I'd feel like the asshole going in there and buying a bunch of wood, when it's loading up the truck and driving away with a big thing of wood, and everyone else is looking for toilet paper and trying not to spread the disease. So I don't know. But I don't know. I might just sleep in and use it to rest and see what I got to do. Could use it to clean, because that's one thing I put off quite a bit, is cleaning and all that good stuff. If anything, I need to make a video kind of following up in more detail about what's happened in the last since I last made a video, I guess, because a lot's happened for good and for bad. So being able to talk about it, put it out there. So people who know me, who are close and know me personally, know what's going on, or what has gone on. But I know the majority of the YouTube audience doesn't know things, and I've put a couple of those like post statuses or whatever YouTube does, saying like, "Hey everybody, hi, I'm still alive, but shit." So I know some people have seen those, but I want to make some videos and say hi, I'm still alive. As I do want to make videos, I just haven't had the real ability to. And that's more on me. It's not on anything else. It's more of an excuse more than anything. But I know people who are doing full-time jobs and part-time jobs, taking care of kids and making videos. So it's not out of, I literally can't. It's more of a, I'm just not in the right mindset to be able to do it in that way. But I do get to edit videos at work. That's always fun. And some of my videos there are freaking great. I really wish I could post them online because they are online. But, well, they are unlisted. So if you were able to figure out the link, you could watch them. And they're hilarious. And I wish I could put them online. There's privacy issues too. Some of the people can't they can't put them online for that kind of reason, but some of them aren't, and they're hilarious. There are a few others here. They can step up and ask some questions too. Don't be shy. Yeah, people, ask me some questions. Type something into the chat. Say hi. I don't care what it is. Ask me anything. It can be 3D printing. It can be life. I don't care. Has anyone ever realized how awesome water tastes? I realized that I got home today and I'm like, wow, I've only had like half a cup of water all day, not including a tea. And so I'm just like, I felt really bad when I got home. I'm like, oh God, I think I'm dehydrated. I feel a bit better now, which is a good thing. Look, people are seeing the link on the Facebook group. That's good. People join, ask me questions, say hi. I tried to check on it and make sure it was actually good, but I'm assuming everything is pretty good on your end. Like you can hear me, all that good stuff. I bought this webcam last year and I never had used it other than for work related stuff. So I'm glad I actually have it because I think it looks a lot better than my old webcam. Z1 Power, hello, hi, sir. How are you doing? Good evening. How is your wonderful? What would that be? What is it? Wednesday evening. 10-second lag. Not too bad. Yeah, it's not too bad. It's definitely not too bad. I have it on the low latency setting on the stream latency, so you can pick from different latency settings. And so I'm on the low latency one, which apparently is roughly about 10 seconds. There's an ultra low latency. It reduces the video stream quality, but I think it's only like 2 or 3 seconds. Something like that. Normal latency is probably like it used to be, which was like 20 seconds. And I always hated that because I would ask something and then it's like it takes forever to come up, takes forever for me to answer, and then it comes up on your end. So it's like almost a minute between you asking something to actually seeing the response. So I like this a little bit. 10 seconds isn't too bad, so I'm okay with it. So yeah, as long as 2 seconds, highest, yeah, it's. I don't know. I've never streamed on any other streaming service, so I don't know how it is on Twitch or on Mixer or any of those other ones. But it's pretty good. It's fine for me. It's not like I'm doing a massive, multi-thousand people viewing show or anything like that. So I'm absolutely fine with this being a couple 10 seconds. Y'all handle it. There's only 3 people here anyway, so it's fine. Double the delay time. Yeah. So. I don't mind. I'm getting used to the YouTube Studio, the new streaming thing, because it's completely different from when I last was on here. So, can I move this around and it'll follow it? Yes. Yes. Cool. So I'm going to move this over here because it'll be a lot easier to see. And I'll put this here. Cool. That makes it a lot better. I had the chat way over here, and then I had the like dashboard way over here, and I have 3 monitors, and they're all fairly big. So like right here is the end of one monitor, and right here is where the other one is, and so I'm looking quite a bit. Am I still with Folger Tech? No, I'm not. I got a new job, a real official full-time 40 hours a week, 9 to 5 or 8 to 5 kind of job in 2018. So yeah, April 2018. So I worked that, and I worked doing Folger Tech for a few months, and kind of did the tech support thing as I could, but I realized that there was the amount of free time I had to be able to dedicate to that and to my actual job. I guess my full-time job was a little more difficult. So yeah, it was like June, July, somewhere in there. I stopped doing the tech support stuff, but I still talk to John Folger every so often and all that good stuff. So I still fully support them, like, in spirit, but I try to help people as it comes and goes. But are they going to have like a new social media person? I don't think so. I know that he's right now it's a little bit of a different story, but in the past he's done things for other YouTubers and things like that. Other YouTubers have probably done deals and made videos and stuff like that, but I still want to make videos about the printers that I have and everything like that, and even the CNC and all that. I just haven't had the real time to dedicate to doing that along with everything else that I'm doing in life. So that's why I haven't, but I still would like to make them, because all my videos that I ever made of the Folger Tech stuff was all my videos. Like, I wasn't doing it for them. I was doing it on my own. My YouTube channel was always separate from me working for them. So I still want to make videos and things like that. I just haven't had the time and the ability and all that good stuff. All the excuses I can think of. But yeah, it disappeared, and it's been weird. I didn't realize it's suddenly been, I think January of 2019 was my last video that I put on YouTube, and that was driving around things. I actually worked on a video sometime in the summer of 2019, and it was going to be a video about my Camaro that I had, like modifying something on it, hacking, modifying, whatever. And because there was no good tutorials online of how to do this, and it's really easy. And I shot the video, and I have it all edited, or I don't have it edited, but I got all the footage. But it was really windy that day, and so the whole like footage of it is just super windy and noisy, and you can't hear anything I'm saying. And I just was like, well, shit. And I didn't want to reshoot it because I was doing the modification as I was shooting it, so I didn't want to revert it and then do it again, and I just never did. And I don't have the car anymore, so maybe one day I'll try to throw it together and see if I can get something out of it. But it's kind of unnecessary. It was a cool video though. I liked it, and it was fun to make. I very much enjoyed that car. It was really fun. I miss having it, but it was a good decision to get rid of it. Car videos are interesting. I agree. I realize that the majority of the YouTube videos that I watch nowadays are car related or mechanic related, and I've always been a big fan of that stuff anyway, but even more so now. Let me look at my subscriptions. Let me look at how many things are. Let's see. Car related, guitar related. All right. Financial stuff, random knowledge, NASCAR, woodworking, cars, tech stuff, Joe Rogan, tech stuff, cars and racing, random knowledge, guns, racing, woodworking, music. Kind of like a lot of things. So and you notice that in all that, there's not one single 3D printing video in any of my recommendations for the past day. It's because I'm not really watching very many of them. I do occasionally when something comes up or someone that I know post a video. But most of the channels that I used to watch a lot of 3D printing wise, I don't really watch anymore. Not out of like hating it, I just don't watch them anymore. Do a crossover where you print something for a car. Yeah, I probably could. I'm gonna split and have dinner. Thank you for visiting. I hope you have a. I'll make some stuff. Don't worry. You'll see some of my stuff soon. You have a good time. Stay safe. But yeah, it's funny because at work I do 3D printing off and on, but everything I do at work 3D printing wise is automotive related because I work in an automotive industry. And well, transportation industry is a little more correct of a term, but so things that I make are all for vehicles or a type of vehicle for buses. So, you know, I'm used to doing that and designing things in mind to do that, to be in use for that. And I do print quite a few things, not for production, but for testing and stuff like that. We use it all the time. So all 3D printing channels seem to be slower than what they used to be. Perhaps the excitement is wearing down. Yeah, I think so. The bubble. Remember 2 or 3, 4 years ago when the 3D printing bubble was huge and all the rage was 3D printing? And now all of a sudden, you know, everyone and their mom has them and you can buy them for $100 on Amazon. And, you know, the excitement's come down a lot. Although right now it's kind of booming just because of the potential that it has for saving lives when it comes to all this stuff that's going on recently. You know, people are 3D printing respirators and masks and parts for respirators and ventilators and air breathers and all that kind of stuff. And I think there's a big push for people to do that, and that's coming into the news, and people are 3D printing parts to save lives and everything. And so that's a good thing for the community. I really think that's, if anything, that's a very good thing. But yeah, the whole industry, the market, and the community has kind of fallen down a little bit. Everyone's still kind of making videos and making things, but I mean, how much more is it just, you know, oh boy, I got this printer to review and it's slightly different than this one I had and this one that I had and this other one I had, and you know, there's not a lot of innovation. And so it's a 3D printer, it's got decent quality and it's low price, or it's amazing quality but it's expensive. But what can it do? The same thing that they all can do at this point. I think it's probably going to be like that until there's some sort of major technology change. Like, you know, we have, you know, FDM and the SLA and stuff like that. But if there's suddenly some sort of major change in the technology, then it might, you know, become reborn and people are like, oh, cool, you know, let's look at this cool technology and stuff. But for right now, it's very quiet, which is probably also why I haven't really been making any videos either, just because it's, you know, there's a lot more interest in my laser cutting videos than there have been in my 3D printing videos. Actually, I still make the same amount of revenue per month as I did when I was making videos, almost solely off of 2 videos that I have. My laser cutting video, the laser cutter like walkthrough video, and then the leaky hot end nozzle video. Between those 2 videos is like 95% of my ad revenue per month, which isn't much. It's like $30 a month. But you know, the fact that I haven't made a video in over a year, I haven't made a like 3D printing content video in almost 2 years. The fact that I'm still making good revenue is pretty interesting. Making just as much as I used to. In the month, I always forget, I need to make videos in the month of January, because the month of January is awesome. I made like $70 that month. Like, it's like that whole month of January, like ad revenue wise, is double of what it normally is every other month in the year. So I need to remember that. Make more videos in February or in January. Laser cuts and face shields. Thought about that. I think the problem right now is finding the materials, because especially for face shields, it needs to be that thinner material, that plastic material that's, can be bent and everything like that. I know that you can get Lexan and plexiglass and stuff like that at a Lowe's or Home Depot, but it tends to be the thicker stuff. It's going to be an 1/8 inch or a 1/4 inch or something like that, and it doesn't really bend right, and it's expensive too, especially for the size of a face shield. But if I could find some really thin material that is, that kind of clear, but also flexible, but also still fairly rigid material, and then 3D print the little bands, yeah, you could make some pretty decent face shields pretty easily. It's a shame that these face shields are made out of plastic, and just the ones you can buy off the shelf, and they can't reuse them. They can't wash them or run them through a solution. I wonder if they are, and I don't know much about everything that's going on in that way. So I don't know if people are doing that and they're just it's not really working or what, but I would think that would be something you could do. You could put it into like a disinfectant room, or not a room, run it through a cleansing system, a cleaner, and then put it into one of those ultraviolet disinfectant stations, and then they could reuse it, right? Instead of just, throwing it away. I can understand things that are cloth, the gowns and masks and or rubber gloves and stuff like that. Obviously throw all that away, but something like face shields, I feel like you could reuse that, and I don't know if that's something that is done in the medical industry. I understand it generally, if they're just available, then you might as well not, but if there's a shortage of them, then, throw them in the dishwasher for a little bit and see what happens. I don't know. I guess they got to come up with a way to do that that's very proven to be sanitary. But I don't work in the medical industry, so I don't know anything about that. So I'm the last person who should really talk about it. Give me an adapter for old pop bottles. Pop bottles. Are you from the northern Midwest? People say pop. We say soda around here, down here in Florida, and occasionally Coke, but that's usually when we want an actual Coke. So Canada, okay, Canuckistan. Everything about Canada is awesome. I don't know, all the people that I know in Canada, I tell them that, and they're just like, no, Canada stinks. I'm like, no, listen, Canada's awesome. Come here, and then you'll understand. I think shaking. Whoa. I thought about moving my webcam off of my monitor up onto the shelf that I built. That's where it's been, but it was slightly higher than I wanted it to be. I also have this light right here. It's super bright, so I put a paper towel in front of it, because I hoarded plenty of paper towels. So he lied. It's always greener. Grass is always greener. Yeah, I know. I haven't been paying attention much to Canada. How is it doing with all the nonsense? Are you guys under quarantine up there? Or stay-at-home orders or anything like that? Florida just got their stay-at-home orders today. The governor just signed it, saying like, hey, stay at home. So, we were in the top 5 most infected states. And he was like, no, I don't want to do it yet. Nah, I don't want to do it yet. So finally he did it today. So that's a good thing, hopefully. It doesn't matter. I still have to go to work, so I don't really care one way or the other. But if anything, if it helps, then good. I want it to help. No gathering more than a few people in Ontario. Most stores are still open. Well, that's something. I wonder what the infection rate is up there. Let me Google. I've been checking this one website every day with seeing the graphs and everything like that. As someone who really likes data and someone who does a lot of data analysis, I really like to look at the actual graphs and see if it's still increasing exponentially. Is it starting to hit that inflection point, starting to curve off globally and in the United States? I like looking at the simulation data and everything like that. So United States, where I'm at, it's number 1 in the world. Number 1, 215,000 people have it. Canada has 9,000. It's not bad. So Canada in total has a little bit more than just my state of Florida, which has like 8,000 right now. Yeah, 7,700, so almost 8,000. And we're number 5 in the country. So, congratulations. I know you guys have a much smaller population than the whole United States. Probably closer. What is the population of Canada? I don't know. Population. Let's find out. 37 million. So about double that of Florida. Florida's population, well, a little bit less than double. Florida's population is 20-something million now, isn't it? Florida population, 21 million. Yeah, so it's a little less than half, or a little less than, or a little more than half of the population of Canada. It's still cold in most parts of the country, so people aren't gathering outside in big groups. Oh, that's a good thing. It was, it felt really good today. It was weird because a lot of people are home now. So I got home in, like 5:30 or whatever, and there's just a bunch of people in my neighborhood are out walking around, riding bikes, walking around as a family and all that, which is something you don't see all that often. Even in my neighborhood, it's a very good neighborhood, and a lot of people go for walks and things like that. But this was like every couple feet it was like Halloween. People were just out, not socializing, just out for walks, plenty of distance between themselves and everything. We don't have sidewalks here or anything, so they're just walking in the street, pushing strollers, riding bikes, whatever, and it was pretty nice. It was weird, but it was pretty good temperature. It was like 70 was the high today. It's been in the 90s every day for the past week, and it's gonna be in the 90s for the next bunch of months. So this is probably like the last decent temperature day of the entire year. So everyone was getting outside as much as they could. Even I tried to. I was working, but I tried to be outside as much as I could while I was at work. So it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. But yeah, I guess you guys are doing okay right now when it comes to that. So hopefully it starts to die down before it starts to heat up a little bit up there, so people aren't gathering. But yeah, we're at United States at 215,000. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. I see a lot of walking here. Plenty of dogs getting exercise. Still around 9 Celsius. Ooh, 9 Celsius. I wish it was that temperature here. It was like I said, it was 70 today, but it's 70 right now, and it's dark out. It's gonna be tomorrow. It's gonna be 80 in the middle of the day, not too bad. And then come by Wednesday of next week, it'll be in the 90s. It'll be 93 is the high. So it looks like today, tomorrow, and even into Friday, it's going to be in the 80s for the high and the 50s and 60s for the low. And then after that, it's going to go skyrocketing, and it probably is not going to have another cold front. Usually once we get to April, it doesn't ever get cold. So it wouldn't surprise me. Good times. Good times. You in PE or New Jersey? Pennsylvania? New Jersey? No. Florida. Florida. Good old southern Florida. So, gotta love it down here. I got Disney World just, a couple miles that way. That way? Yeah, that way. It's pretty fun. I hate Florida. I tell you what, the best thing out of all of this nonsense, if there is a silver lining, is that traffic has been great. And I really enjoy it because my commute to work is generally awful. And on a no traffic day, it's like 30 minutes, 35 minutes. And usually with just the way that it goes, it's almost an hour each way. So yeah, with it how it is right now and no one's on the road, people aren't allowed to go out. I'm getting to work in no time at all. Hitting up lights, get onto the highway, just haul butt for 30 minutes, and there we go. I love it. There's a small part of me that's just like, hey, when everything gets better, everyone just keep staying home. I really want to just, keep not having to worry about it. But we'll see what happens. Highways are mostly empty here, although people can still go out. I wish that was the case here, but Fortunately, I live in the county that's the highest, the fastest population increase county in the country, I believe. Where I live, this whole county and this whole city, but the Orlando area in general is like the number one moving spot in the United States right now. So, there was the population in my city 10 years ago was like 40 something thousand, and now it's like 150,000 or something ridiculous. And, the roads were not made for that. So, you have a bajillion people trying to run around in a road that's, in a city that's all 2-lane roads. No bueno. So you can't even go to the store. We can go to the store. We can go to the essential stores. All the non-essential stores are closed. So if you wanted to go to them, I'm sure you could, but they're not open. So, and there's code enforcement running around making sure of that. But yeah, we can still go to the store. I can still go to the grocery store. I can still go to any essential store. So like hardware stores, pawn shops, anything that sells food. Banks are still open. There's a whole list of things. Anything that sells materials that can be used in emergencies or anything like that. All those are still open. So, it's not too bad. I don't mind it too much. I just go to work and back, and then occasionally I'll go to the grocery store because we need groceries. But restaurants are still open. If they have drive-through, then they're still open drive-through wise. If they don't, you can do carry out for most restaurants. Some restaurants have voluntarily closed. But yeah, if they offer carry out, they can still be open. So that's what I did for dinner tonight. I actually got carry out chicken wings at my favorite chicken wing place. So, normally I'd want to go in and sit down, but you can't, which is fine because you don't want to get sick. You don't want to get other people sick. So I get it. I'm fine with what they're doing. It's weird how the world just seemed to change all of a sudden. I know it's surreal. We're living in a once in a lifetime kind of thing. I don't think anyone's really gone through this kind of thing in the United States since like maybe the Civil War. Like around the world, there's been wars, and World War I, World War II, the Spanish flu in Europe back 100 years ago. All that stuff was very, that affected people, and there's people who are alive now who remember World War II, especially if you lived in Europe. You can remember that. But United States, at least, or our side of the pond, North America, we haven't had anything that's severely disrupted our lives probably since the Civil War, to where you were genuinely worried and you couldn't go out and things. I know that in the World Wars there was like rationing and things like that, and there was the wartime powers and everything like that. But for the most part, life was still fairly standard, I guess. I obviously wasn't alive at this time, so I'm speculating, but it's very different now than I think it's ever been. We're literally, our lives are genuinely being affected. There's people are getting laid off, people can't go to work, you can't do anything. Yeah, 9/11's a good example, but it was mostly localized. Yeah, but it was very temporary. Like the only thing that's really extended since then has been the TSA and the laws getting on and off planes and all that. But for the most part, like that was a very temporary thing. It was, the world, the country and the world was back to normal within not a few days, a few weeks, even a few months. But it wasn't someone in California, unless they knew someone directly, probably wasn't all that affected by 9/11. Not literally. They probably didn't lose their job or couldn't go to the store because of it, especially days after, weeks after. This is something that this is probably going to be here for at least another month or two, on a good day. I'm looking at all the tracks, and I've been tracking all the data and everything, and I think it's probably going to last until probably the beginning of June, end of May, beginning of June, and then everything will kind of be back to normal by that point. You know, they'll start releasing some of the bands and everything like that, but we'll see. Hopefully it's sooner than that, but if nothing else, I just want sports to come back. I want NASCAR and Formula One and IndyCar and everything to come back so I can watch them. You know, this was going to be a great year for Formula One, and it's just like, nope. And now it's all ruined. Now everything's messed up. Meh. I like traveling through U.S. Airlines, taking my shoes off, getting on. Yeah, right. I've only, I don't fly very often, but so I never, well, that's not technically true, but I was a baby, so I don't really count that I've flown before all this, before the TSA and everything. So every time I've flown has been, you know, me being 20, 21 years old or older. So, you know, I'm used to it. You know, it's like, okay, I go through the thing and they pat me down and they put me through the thing, and I take my shoes off and my belts and they look in my backpack, and this is just normal. You know, I wasn't around when you could just walk onto an airplane with a gun and a couple of bottles of alcohol. And like, you know, I don't know that. Angel, what's up, my dude? How you doing? It's not 4K. I hope it's not 4K. Should only be 1080. It's a better webcam. I thought I told you that I got this webcam. It was sometime last year. I got it and then never used it. So it's a lot better looking than my old one. I used to use a action cam, like a GoPro knockoff that you can plug in via USB and like broadcast the USB through, you know, into this. And I used to use that, and I enjoyed it, especially since it had pretty good wide angle. But it just looked really bad. I think it was a 1080p webcam, but like not really, you know. Whereas this looks a lot better, you know. I think quality is a lot better. I think it's all good. I think we both had the same GoPro knockoff. Yeah, I think we did. It's that the one I made the video on. What was that called? I don't even remember. But my brother uses it now, so it doesn't matter. I have a real GoPro. I've got a GoPro Hero 5 Black, one of those. And I got that one sometime 2 years ago or whatever, and I barely used it. I've used it for a couple things for work and stuff, but I've not used it otherwise. And apparently you can do the USB thing with that too. It uses USB Type-C, and you can plug it in your computer, and I could use it for my webcam. But this webcam looks pretty good. You know, this is full 1080. It's got all the features if I needed to zoom or focus and all that. The autofocus is actually really good. Like, look at that. Look how beautiful it looks. It takes a little time to focus, but it does pretty good, you know. The light's pretty decent. I'm currently working on figuring out what I want to do with my light, but this is good enough for right now. You know, I'll figure out something if I can keep doing this. What's that electric drum set you got there? Yeah, that's the electric drum set, I guess. I don't know what else about it. It's just an electric kit at Alesis Nitro Mesh Kit. I got it from somewhere. Amazon, Guitar Center, I don't remember. But I got it mainly because you can plug it in via USB and run it into your computer for MIDI. And, you know, I can record with that playing real drums, but then it uses the drum sounds that I'd use in my DAW, which I usually will MIDI, you know, do it manually with clicking and all that, which is a pain in the butt. So you just get on that, you play it, and then it transfers it to MIDI, and then I can edit it from there if I need to. So it makes doing things a little bit easier. It's not the best one in the world. It was cheap. It was like $300 or something like that, but it does what I need it to do. And then I have all my guitars behind me. That's not even all of them. There's 8 guitars over here that you can't see. There's one in my room. There's a lot of guitars. I've got far too many. But that's fine. I haven't bought a single guitar this year, which is weird. Because by this point, last year, I had already bought like 4 or 5. So, yeah. It's pretty weird. I was looking at the same model before because I want to buy one to learn how to play without getting kicked out of here. Yeah. Now, be warned though, if you get an electric drum kit, it still's pretty loud. It's not as loud as a real kit, obviously, but it still makes quite a bit of noise. So if you're living, above someone or anything like that, you still want to, like, if you can, put it up on like foam or something. Just kind of separate it from the ground, because it can still make quite a bit of noise. And it's not like it's obviously a drum set kind of noise. It's like clicky, poppy noises, that kind of stuff. So if someone hearing that through a wall, they're like, it's more annoying than like, oh, the guy's playing drums. It's like, what is he beating on? So, yeah. I like it though. It works for what I do. I haven't played that. My brother's been playing it a lot more because he's an actual drummer. So, he's actually good at it, where I'm not. What is this? Pretty good. What time is it? How long have I been on here? Been almost an hour, so that's pretty good. I'll probably end the stream in about an hour, because this was just more of a test stream-ish kind of thing. Because I didn't have anything set up on the YouTube streaming, so especially the new one, and with the new OBS and everything. So I'm glad I have it set up, so I can deal with that. I can put foam over it. Yeah, put it over foam. Yeah, it definitely will help, and that'll help isolate it. You really only have to do it with like the feet that are on the ground, or even the pedal, the kick pedal. That's where a lot of the noise is, but most of the hitting you don't really hear all that much of, so it's not too bad. But it's mainly just like using the kick drum or something like that. That makes a lot of noise. So if you can do that, that'd be pretty good. I'm sure we set up the premiere so people know that you are going live or not. I don't know. I haven't used this new thing, so I don't actually know if it. I don't know if it's broadcasting properly. So, if any of you, if either one of you guys are able to go to like your YouTube subscription, see if like my live stream is there as like a live now, watch now kind of thing. See if it's actually there, because I don't actually know. And I know a lot of people have been streaming a lot. Like a lot of YouTubers are doing that, and everyone's doing it because, what else are you gonna do? Especially people who like work and made videos in a studio or something like that they can't go to now because it's a business and it's not essential. So, So I don't know how it actually, if it's showing up or anything like that. I'll keep it up online, and people can watch it if they want to, but we'll see how that goes. I realize that I don't talk all that much anymore because I work in an office, so I don't talk to people all that much. So my voice is actually like winded, It's like, what are you doing? You haven't talked like this in months, Doesn't show in subscription video list, but in the subscriptions one on the left, it shows the live beside your name. Okay, that's weird, because I know I have it set to like public and everything, so it should theoretically appear. I have no idea. It's monetized, science, technology. Unless there's some other thing that I could have picked. It's set to public. And it's a stream, so, it's about it. I don't know. It's weird. So that's probably something. I don't know if people are getting notified, or, they go onto their subscription list and they can't see it, but oh well. It doesn't really matter. This was a test anyway. So what have you been up to in terms of projects? Not a lot, really. I've been just doing a lot of more life things, and nothing super interesting. A lot of projects at work, but that's work. Developing new products and making things work and all that stuff. But here it's been more home projects and organizing and cleaning and house stuff, yard work, all the boring things that I enjoy doing, I guess, but I don't want it to be the only thing I do. So I've been thinking of things to do to make videos again, and ideas and projects and everything. And I have one big one but it's something that will take a long time to do, and a lot of money and a lot of time and effort and everything like that. And we'll see how that goes. But I don't have energy to work on stuff. Yeah, exactly. Like I get home from work and I'm just like, I'm just gonna sit down and I'm gonna watch Netflix and I'm gonna watch YouTube videos and blah blah blah. I'm gonna play a little bit of guitar if anything, and there we go. And so yeah, it's about all I do. And then when I have free time on the weekends, I go hang out with my friends, and not as much now, obviously, but I would be lying if I said that I haven't broke that don't hang out with people that rule so far. Yeah, I know we're not supposed to, but if the person hasn't left their house in like a month, does that really count? There's not really at risk to spread it to you, so I'm not in contact with anybody during the day at work, so statistically you're not going to get it. So as far as I'm concerned, yeah, I shouldn't do that, but whatever. But yeah, it's been very weird. It's been a different time. This whole past month has been kind of surreal, and it's gonna get worse. We only really were getting it seriously in the last half month of March, the last half of March, here in Florida. So yeah, in New York, I don't know how the heck you're doing it. It's insane up there. Like, I don't know. Are you even allowed to go outside? Like, what's going on? Like, there's just suddenly you guys get like out of nowhere, like 100,000 people have it up there. Like, holy mackerel, man. Like, I think there's more people dead up there than there are people sick here. Like, that's just insanity. Friends and family have died. Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that. That's not good. At this point, I don't know anyone personally who has it, so that's a good thing. And I obviously don't know anybody personally who have died either. I know of a couple people who know people who are sick, and I know of one or two people who know someone who died, but I don't know anyone currently. So for right now, it's okay, but not okay as in like it's fine for me. No one I know has died, but it's I haven't been directly affected by it, which is unfortunate because there's a lot of people who have been. It's amazing to think that it's like how many people have been affected by it and everything like that, and how many people have gotten sick, and yet it's a very small amount of people. I posted something on Facebook today. I actually looked at the math, and they were talking about how the White House put out saying that it's like they're expecting between 100 and 200,000 deaths in the country, but it's like that's a lot of people. But when you think about it, that's only like 0.03% of the entire U.S. population dying, which is like definitely not good. It's a lot of people. 100,000 people dying is a lot of people. But in the grand scheme of like how many people there are in the country, it's like amazing to think that that's like not even 0.1% of the people, And I did the math on it based on the infection rate and the fatality rate and everything like that, and it's only like 1% of the population in the United States would actually catch it at 100,000 deaths. There'd be like just over 3 million people who would have it at the current mortality rate. So, when you think about it, like at its worst, only 1% of everyone in the country actually has it. It's weird to think like we're so worried about touching any single door and any single, interaction and every person you pass by. But in reality, like the odds of someone even having it once it's all done, is like pretty low. And that's true, like in New York, it's way higher because there's a lot of people. If you look at like the population versus how many people have it, it's way higher. Whereas, New York's got a bajillion people and like 100,000 cases, whereas like Florida has 21 million people and only like 7,000, 8,000 cases. So yeah, of course, this is based on confirmed cases and not people who might have it, who don't have symptoms and all that kind of stuff. So there's more people than we know about, obviously, but it's very weird. I know a lot of people have caught it here in New York, but they just power through. I tell you that the good thing is that it's a lot of people are able to kind of push through it, and if they're healthy enough and they don't have any pre-existing conditions and they're they get the right treatment, they can just kind of power through it and be okay. And that's a good thing. And it's a good thing that it's not like a 60% fatality rate, because if it was like that, then this would be really bad really quickly. But that's also part of the fact that it transmits so quickly, and you might not even feel sick, or you might not have symptoms, and you can transmit it. That's what makes it so weird to follow, is so many people could be sick and have it and spread it, but they have no idea. They don't show any symptoms. Whereas a lot of like the MERS and SARS and Ebola and stuff like that, usually it's like once you get sick, you're highly likely to die, and you get sick immediately. So people know who's sick really quickly. I could have it right now and I have no idea, and I haven't done anything. I haven't felt bad or anything like that. Not having a fever, not coughing, nothing. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. That's why MERS didn't spread as far as it did. Kill cells quick, 34%. Yeah, it's 34%, and that's what I mean. Like, it kills you quickly, so you don't really have a chance to spread it. Whereas this, it does some people and it doesn't some others. So it's like, what the heck? It spreads so quickly, and then it just picks and chooses who it wants to take. So let's talk about 3D printers. I don't have much to talk about 3D printers. I don't even have any set up right now in this house, which is terrible. That's not true. I have 2 that could be turned on and run, but I haven't printed anything at home in quite a while. Everything gets done at work. So we almost bought a new 3D printer at work, and then all this happened and budgets had to be like cut immediately. So that's out of the question for now, which is unfortunate. I wanted to have one of those new printers, but yeah. It's 107. Okay, either one of you, any of you, there's 3 people here. Ask me some questions. I'm going to be here for another like 2 or 3 minutes. And then I'll probably do this again. Probably more in a more organized way, so more people know about it. So I'll try to see if I can figure out why the hell it's not showing up, so people can actually see this. Because that would be a good thing, right? Like, it'd be really great for people to like know that I'm online. We have Prusa and Forms 3 at work. Oh, that's cool. Did you ever get the FT6 before you left? No, I never got the FT6. I have the FT5 R2, and then I do have the Prusa XL. But I never got an FT6, which is fine because I don't have any room for it. Like the Prusa XL. Why does that sound weird to say? That one, I still haven't put it together fully. Like, it's still in a box. When I got it, it was right before I was moving, and there was reasons why, but it's still in a box now. But I just haven't had time to use it. So I actually thought about bringing it to work and using it at work, but that never happened, which is fine because we have enough 3D printers at work if we need them. So yeah, I never got one. It's a beautiful printer though. Wish I would have gotten one, especially for printing really big things. But also my use cases are very rarely would I need to have that. I like to use the printer that's the smallest I can possibly use for whatever I'm making, just because I don't like having a big massive thing moving around for a tiny part, especially with like a heat plate. You don't want to waste all that energy just on one little thing and all that. You got one. Good. Do you like it? Is it good? Because that was the first printer that they made that I had like no input on really. I talked to John while he was making it here and there, but I didn't have a lot of input on it. That was some of the other guys in the group were helping him with that. So how is it? I've only seen pictures. It's like standing over a hibachi grill, right? Yeah, that's what I mean. And like when you have a big thing to print, then it makes sense. But when it's like you have a small little item, you don't want to just. That's a lot of heat. That's a lot of power that's being wasted in that, And of course, you don't have to run it if you have the ability, depending on your filament and all that. But it's weird. I don't know if I'd want to do that. But having multiple 3D printers like I do, I think I have 7. 5 are operational right now. So is it 5? 4 or 5. I like using like even the Prusa or the cloner, the Folgertech cloner. Like that thing is not the greatest printer in the world, but it's like super stable and solid, and so I use that quite a bit. When I was printing, oh god, I got it. I use it quite a bit when I was printing, just because it worked really well. It was very stable, and it was small, and it was compact, and it was quick. I could run it quickly, especially once I modified it to have the Bowden drive and everything like that. It was awesome. I liked it, and it's in my brother's room. He uses it occasionally. So usually, whenever I need to print something, I'll just print at work because we're not always using it. In general, more likely than not, I can get away with printing my stuff at 200 by 200. Yeah, it's true. Like 200 by 200 is usually fine for most things. And if it's not, I have bigger printers. But even if it's not, you can cut parts in half and do things like that. Use the FT6 to make big front panels. Also had some orders to print prototypes for large things like keyboards. That's cool. Yeah, that's the one good thing that it is for prototypes. A lot of what I do is big things like panels and bezels and things like that for lights on these buses. And so they're very large parts. And so there's a few things that I've had to do to where even we have a 500 by 500. Yeah, 500 by 500. That seems like it's too big. No, it is. Yeah, it's 500 by 500 by 500 millimeter. One of the super giant Creality printers. Yeah. And that thing's huge. And we use that occasionally. And even with that big thing, we still have to like cut parts in half or in sections and print them that way. So, yeah, it's pretty crazy. Actually, I was talking to one of our contacts today, and he's got a printer that can do 3 feet by 3 feet by 4 feet, I think it is. Which is massive. Like that's just a massive size, and you can do like pretty much any kind of filament you want. You can have everything from polycarbonate to nylon and regular plastics, metal fill, wood fill, all that kind of stuff. So you guys have some crazy needs for sizing. Yeah, and it's one of those things to where the majority of the time we don't, but occasionally we do, because it's you don't realize how big a headlight is until you need to print one, and then you're like, oh, my printer is not big enough for that. So it works out for that. And that's why we have it mainly for those occasions. But we have one of the smaller, like 300 by 300 Creality printers, and it's basically like FT5 size. And we'll use that for almost everything else, just because its quality is a lot better. Personally, the 500 by 500 is just like so big and bulky, and it's the Prusa design. It's got the gantry and everything like that. So it's so big that it kind of flexes and wobbles and everything like that. And, I try to not use it if I can avoid it. That, and when you're printing stuff that's that big, it's like 60, 70 hours of print time, and it's a pain in the ass. So have you seen the channel where Nerdy is cool? His got an FT6, but seems to be having a lot of power problems with vibrations. No, I haven't seen that. I'll have to check that out. Yeah, vibration is something that is a pain in the butt when it comes to 3D printing. 505 is dumb for, yeah, it is. It works, it's effective, and it's cheap to make, and I can understand that, but it's just like without any sort of like reinforcements and improvements, it's just a pain in the butt. So, I need to make some videos on the CNC. The CNC is super cool. I haven't got into it enough to really like be an expert on it, but the stuff that I've made with it is really awesome, and I need to make more things with it. It's just out in my garage right now on the workbench, just with stuff piled on top of it because the stuff's not organized out there. So my FT6, I replaced the drivers with run very smooth, quite good. A lot of people seem to be replacing the drivers with those and are very happy with it, which is a good thing. So I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad it's working out. What time is it? I think it's about a good time to end this stream. So I appreciate you, 2 or 3 people watching. You guys, I appreciate the input and keeping me talking and entertained. I hope I've been good with this. So yeah, if you guys like this, then maybe I'll do this again in a more organized way and keep doing this because it feels good to kind of step back and do something for a while. That's not what I normally do. So now I can go and get out of my work shirt and go take a shower, and I'll probably make some YouTube videos soon. I know I've said that a million times, but I think I want to. And if nothing else, some videos about how I've been and what's been going on and everything. I think a lot of people are curious to know what's been going on. So Angel, you're one of those people who knows, but you know, a lot of people don't. So anyway, I appreciate you guys. You have a good night and stay safe. And I hope everything's good with you guys and your family and everyone you know. So take care, everybody.